Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. On our last 300 Blackout video, we did not get any groups that were worth writing home about, except for the groups we shot with the SIG factory ammo. Since our gun shot so well with that ammo, I know that we can get something better with hand loads. We've just got to find the right combination. I thought about putting together a long video loading up a bunch of ammo, going to the range, and shooting a ton of different combinations. I think what I'm going to do instead is change just one variable at a time and see if we can narrow down exactly what the problem was. My best guess is that it is the bullet, and it's just a bullet that our gun doesn't like. So we're going to switch the bullet today and keep everything else the same. We're going with our hand-formed Lake City brass, H110 CCI 400 small rifle primers, and our bullet is going to be the 125 grain Hornady hollow point. This is a flat base bullet, and it is one that the Hornady load manual has data specifically for. We're going to shoot this at an overall length of 2.1 inches. We're going straight off of their data with this. Our charges of H110 are going to be just about what we did in the last video. I only have 14 pieces of this hand-formed brass left before I have to go resize and re-prep it all. So we're just going to shoot 3 charge weights today, shoot a really quick video of 17.5, 18, and 18.5 grains of powder. These showed no signs of pressure whatsoever with our last bullet, so we're going to see how that does today. The other thing I suppose that you could call a variable that we're going to switch today is the distance is going to be just 50 yards. I'm going to take this gun out to my pistol shooting area and we can get 50 yards out there, so we're going to shoot that today instead of stretching it out to 100. I think that's about it. I've already showed you guys loading 300 Blackout with most of these components except for the bullet, so I'm just going to go ahead and get this ammo loaded up. If I have any issues along the way, I'll come back and show it to you then. Otherwise, we're just going to get straight out to the range. All right, we are out here on my very buggy pistol range. And we're shooting some 300 Blackout. Remember, this first group will be with only 4 shots because we were short 1 piece of brass. Target is at 50 yards. I've got kind of a weird setup here, and I think this is in frame. I seem to have misplaced my rear bag. I think the last time I was shooting, I left it at the range. So I've got a bag of rice, a sock full of rice, and a car wash sponge kind of set in here as a makeshift rear bag. But nevertheless, we're going to get to shooting here as soon as I can get my earplugs in. Pardon the noise you'll hear in the background. There is some harvesting going on in the field directly across from my house. I'm not sure where the point of impact is going to be at 50 yards since we're sighted in at 100 yards, but we're going to go for it anyway. Chronograph data is kind of spotty getting out here because there are all kinds of shadows. I've got it in a place where I hope we can get some usable data, but we'll see. Let's get shooting here. Hey, right where we want it to be. And we got velocity data. That's what we're looking for. All right, I see that piece of brass. You can see all the dust billowing up from in here. I recently drove down some gravel roads, which I don't really have in my area, and this whole thing got full. Okay, primer's nice and round, no marks on the brass, besides the deflector ding we're always getting, but that's all right. Having this muzzle brake on here throws dust around absolutely crazy. Well, let's finish out the rest of this group. Well, we've got like 3.5 MOA there at 50 yards. That is not promising. but we'll move on to the next charge weight. Well, that's a whole lot more promising. I did come down to MOA so that we could see our last group a little more clearly. I'm going to give the barrel, you know what, the barrel's not even that warm. But we'll give it just a second to cool down anyway, and we'll shoot the last group. Last group for today, we'll go on that top right-hand target. That lets that head just a little bit of an ejector circle on. So we are going to look at this next piece of brass. So remember, it is a half grain jump. I was able to reach it and it looks perfectly fine. So we're going to finish out the group. Well, that one, I have no idea why it went high. It was really trying to group there. I mean, it was a 2 MOA group. That's an inch at 50 yards. But still, man, I don't know what happened to that last shot. There's no way it should have gone that high. All right, well, let's get back to the bench and we'll look at these a little closer. Let's have a look at this target, and I think we can all agree it is a heck of a lot better than our last 300 Blackout outing. So that first group was huge, 1.7 inches and an extreme spread of 112. No good there. But then this next group shot 4 out of the 5 shots, all into the same hole, ragged hole, 0.3 inches center to center on that, which is real good. Then threw this one outside. I'm not sure if I pulled that one or not. I'm thinking I didn't pull it that far. 1.3 inches. Still something like 2.6, 2 3/4 MOA, something like that. Standard deviation of 20, which is not good either. Last group with 18.5 grains, we put 4 shots into 0.9 inches, about 2 MOA, which is just fine. And then threw 1 shot to 2.2 inches, which is absolutely huge again. Couple of things I am pulling away from this shooting. First of all, the gun likes this bullet clearly a heck of a lot more than the Spear TNT, at least with this powder. And the powder is the other thing I'm getting from this. H110, for us, has thrown crazy standard deviations and extreme spreads. Let me take a look back at the load book at our last group. And this is written in pencil, so you probably can't see it as much. 17.5 grains gave us an extreme spread of 36 and a standard deviation of 13. And we had a similar on 17 grains. Then once we get up here, they just open back up wide. 40 for a standard deviation at 18. Then we've got 15 and 36. So pretty huge spreads. Now this isn't an extruded powder, so I don't really know whether I should be hoping for really good extreme spreads and standard deviations or not, but I kind of am right now. I'm hoping for something better. If we can get down around 10 for a standard deviation, I'm going to call that acceptable. So I'm thinking on the next test, we ditch H110 for now and go to CFE Black, and we're going to try both bullets we've shot so far with it. I'm thinking we'll do 3 groups of each and just see if we get anything that we can even base a better load workup off of. So that's going to come in the next video. Thank you guys for watching today. If you liked this video, please subscribe to the channel. Check us out on Instagram and Patreon and support us over there. And y'all have a good one.